Hey there. All right. This is my second vlog post and it feels pretty awkward, but so in the sequence of things, my last video I was about to go to Elements. I think I had the backdrop and I did something, I did a video just to sort of get in the flow of things, build the habit and get things started. And that's kind of what the thought process is behind this video as well. I'm gonna try to keep it short. It's gonna be pretty boring and me just sort of talking about the same crap, but I think I'm gonna start maybe getting into what will eventually be more like my shtick, I guess, the content of this channel. The general idea, I think, is, my inspiration so far have been, talking and I guess sort of, podcasting, which I've been doing. There's none of that on the channel so far. It's all been sort of on Discord and stuff informally, and that's where a lot of the inspiration has come from to even do this at all. But then also recently with snowboarding and going to music festivals. And so my thought process is, I'm not a professional snowboarder or, really good enough to have a snowboarding channel. I'm not really into the festival scene enough for it to matter, to have I don't have any kind of high-end recording system. There's nothing really special about my opinion or who I am, so I'm not really gonna do a festival review channel. And then there may be other stuff coming up that, I wanna record and stuff and put out there. So at the same time, I'm mostly be talking about philosophy, things like that. At the same time, it's not gonna really be a philosophy or I think probably mostly it will be more of a philosophy, spirituality channel. I think ultimately that will be what this is, like a talking head, me giving my opinion, and hopefully, people finding it interesting, which is, what the inspiration was to even do this in the first place. So with that being said, Elements came by and the first day ended up being canceled due to a tropical depression, miniature hurricane. And it was a big bummer. But then the two other days were really awesome, and there was a bunch of details and stuff I'm gonna go over in a later video. My thought process is this little interim video, basically just kind of habit building and practice trial run video. Probably do one more, maybe seated, a little bit more, I don't know about structured, but just a little bit more focused. And that will be leading up into an edited video from Elements. And I'm going to another show this Sunday that, I don't know, I may vlog, may see how that goes, but there was a bunch of stuff that happened with my time at Elements and the thoughts I had and just sort of playing into everything right now where I'm at career-wise and in the construction of this channel and the content I'm putting out. So I have sort of dabbled previously a little bit with video editing. I looked a little bit DaVinci, and I did Apple's, which is what is Apple's? Final Cut Pro. I was trying out the free trial. I think eventually I may get the full software, but I don't have the funds right now. At least to splurge on that. So it's gonna be DaVinci, the free option. So the idea is to start having some more edited videos, talking over it. I have a microphone. Well, I have some lav mics, some clip-on mics, and eventually I'm gonna need a better microphone. And I cannot find my my AirPods. So I'm actually behind in production right now, but the idea is try to get better at these vlogging style talking head videos, be able to, edit the sound, the audio, so I'm gonna probably have multiple tracks. That's where a microphone probably come in better, but the iPhone is surprisingly pretty good. And I think playing around with it, I may be surprised how much I can do with it without needing extra equipment. So we'll see how that is. Like, I'm very confident right now that the recording here is gonna be pretty good. I've been pretty happy with the iPhone's mic. So I've got the Flow Pro gimbal going here, which is great, tracking my face. And I think part of these first videos are just gonna be pretty boring, pretty old school vlogging style of me just talking into the video as if this was something new. I think it's very funny that the internet is sort of dying, I guess, in some sense. It's just the old internet's going away, and YouTube is becoming saturated, and that's the time I decided to do an amateur style vlogging channel. So I think it's pretty ironic. But, we'll see. I think I have I really like to gab. There's a friend of mine, Hidden Scryer, who will probably become part of this channel at some point, doing more podcasting type stuff. And him and I just talk for hours and hours, and we'll often get like a small audience kind of going, and especially when him and I kind of get on our roll. And that was the idea for maybe like a podcast thing. So he might be more involved, but just lately desire to gab and not necessarily have the, what do I want to say here? Have the kind of conversations I'm looking to have, right? I think maybe just talking, just having them out loud to a camera might be a nice little way to scratch that itch. And I think from there, the vlog will sort of come about. I'll stop talking about my plans and my forays into videography and just talk more about stuff. I do eventually want to talk more about Zen, about life, but I guess maybe getting into some of the more substantive stuff I want to talk about before I wrap this little video up is how lately I just feel, in a good way, I feel satisfied. I feel complete. Part of my struggles right now is just keeping myself motivated. I mean, as financially things get a little bit tighter, I feel a little bit more tension. It gives me motivation, but it feels good. It feels good to be sort of working again and focusing on just making money and having a lot of my spiritual and existential crises feel resolved. By the way, I hope this is working as a background, and I hope the screen's turning off. I do want to see the screen. And supposedly now the screen will no longer turn off during recording, but we'll see. And this, by the way, is just me being old and having gray hair. I know it looks like a milk stain or something, but just getting old. I need to shave this beard. It's a little too scraggly, but I wanted to do this video, and I knew that if I shaved, it looked pretty awkward, so I'd rather have this kind of awkwardness. But yeah, the focus right now is on engaging with capitalism and just surviving there. And I think that's a good problem to have. I think I can do it. I think I'm capable of doing it. But in terms of satisfaction, spirituality and stuff, a lot of times with these gabs or talking with other people, in a weird way, I like when other people they have questions, they have issues they're trying to figure out, and they're asking me stuff. It's hard for me to sort of gab a little bit about that. But so when it comes to Zen or some of the things that I will eventually be rambling about that other people might find interesting or helpful, I think these things are just going to come up naturally as I read something, encounter something, have thoughts, and ramble about that. And then maybe it'll take a more formal form or something where I'm talking about Zen specifically, or Buddhism or something like that, or my own enlightenment as I have gained some very small modicum of internet attention for talking about. But yeah, and that's the plan, is just sort of partly have fun and teach myself through this art project, and then see if I start saying interesting stuff that other people want to hear and find helpful, see if it goes from there. And then I think as a platform for that, it's just going to be my stupid exploits. One of those, as you can see here as I'm walking around, I was wondering what I was going to do if I would sit and have the backdrop as I had before. I figured out here is there's not too much stuff out here. Just sort of walk around. And I'll always be kind of doing little things down here as long as we're at this house. Anyway, so I've been teaching myself how to tie knots, and definitely anyone that knows what they're doing could definitely laugh at what I did. If I managed to get some tension up here to dry out stuff from camping. And let's see if I can get this to scroll correctly. Here we go, I got my hammock back there. Trying to figure out this gimbal. But yeah, a lot of fun stuff I do. And maybe some opinions or reviews I could give, and then maybe some talks or information on various, maybe spirituality related things, and some of the, the spiritual work I've done on myself could maybe help other people, or at the very least, this is helping me. So anyone that's listening, thank you for participating in my personal catharsis. So to wrap up here, I guess kind of teasing into the next video, which will be kind of lame and boring before I hopefully have an edited video that will be marginally more exciting, is the sense of change, the sense of when I was at Elements, it reignited something in me to go back to festivals and dance, and I love it. But then also reminded me of my age and reminded me I'm the old guy. And there was a sense, I'm comfortable with that, right? I'm comfortable with that. And I was, if we had 3 full days of it, I would have just really been in it, right? But it was missing that Friday. And it really wasn't anyone's fault. It was, the weather. But you could feel that missing, and I felt unsatisfied. I started scrambling, knowing that I can't go to different festivals, right? And that sort of leads up to what I'm going to be going on Sunday, to this S2O. It's importation of an Asian festival group that does this. I have to learn the name of it, but a Thai festival. It takes place in April. So they're doing it now. It's a water festival. They're doing it now in August, but they spray water. And it's going to be a good time, I think. But I'm going to go see Subtronics and his wife Level Up. Armand Hammer's playing. And there's an interesting B2B with some people I don't really know. This guy Kaivan, he seems to do some decent dubstep. So it was $100, and I said, I'm going to get a couple hours of dubstep, I think. I can drive down to Brooklyn. I think it's a no-brainer. But there was a lot of, in that panic, watching myself panic, knowing it was silly and it was just flailing. I was basically having a tantrum. But then watching this sort of conflict of okay, I do love music festivals. I love really dubstep is what I just love, bass music. This refocus on work, it's something about there's this new chapter, the page is turning, right? And it's just a time to start doing some stuff that I've been setting up for the past couple months and years. And it's just time, all in these multiple domains in my life. Some more serious, some more frivolous. It is just time. And that's what this vlog is about. It's just time to start making some art, even if no one ever really watches. So yeah, just to recap, the light structure that's happening in these the narrative of this vlogging so far has been a trip to Elements and some spiritual journeys that I've just been alluding to and have not shown any of the footage of. There's a snowboard trip I did back in the end of 2023 into 2024 with a bunch of footage I haven't edited, and that will probably just be a family personal thing. Maybe some of the clips will, I do have actually a nice clip of me snowboarding I'll put on here, but in any case, there's the Elements trip, which will get edited. I'll work in maybe either just talking about this, whatever's going to happen on Sunday, because I know it's just going to be there's going to be a bunch of feelings, a bunch of thoughts. And hopefully by then, the idea of these little stupid videos is just to start doing it, having it be a thing, having it be something I'm comfortable with, and and hopefully get better at them and have them be more interesting, a little bit more streamlined. But that's the idea. And then we'll get into just sort of, hopefully, because I'm going to be an old man, but when I was younger, I go on these little adventures. And that's sort of part of the, I'll cap on this, the realization, right, is that I have done interesting things, have had an interesting life, but it's also so many people have had much more interesting lives, done more interesting things, have more business talking about stuff. But it's this mix of, not pride, but sort of, I guess, I don't know, when you're getting into something that's maybe say like an athlete, and you just realize I don't want to say I'm good at it, but it's just something that you're going to be doing. You're involved in it. And then this humility that also I'm not going to be a pro athlete. I'm not going to be in the Olympics. But when you love the game, you do it for the love of the game, and you sort of, you train sort of, and you care about it similarly, I guess. I don't know as much as someone trained for the Olympics, but that's what it's going to be, I think. I'm losing my train of thought right here, so I don't want to have to edit anything, so I'm going to end this and just say to everyone, peace, love, and wubs. Take care. Thanks for indulging me.